Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Triple Play podcast. We appreciate everybody. We stayed up, watched the end. Well, actually, Nick just got off work not long ago, so
Yeah,
but I stayed up and we stuck it out, watched the end of the ball game. Excited for the start of the season. Not quite the exciting game that we expected, though, Nick.
yeah. No. Um I think my initial reaction was kind of dang, 31 to 10, that's a bit of a blowout, but then when you look a little deeper into it, it was pretty sloppy on both sides a little bit. There were a lot of turnovers, a lot of weird turnovers, cheap turnovers that just can't happen really.
Uh,
And you go ahead. Go ahead.
no, absolutely, I agree. You get what I will attribute it to, and a lot of people are going to be one way against this. A lot of people are going to be another way. If you look at the Bills, they're a team that will play their starters a little bit in the preseason, just kind of get amped up a little bit. And you notice that the Rams are a team that doesn't do that at all. And you notice the team that came out and looked a little flatter on offense was the Rams. I do think it's important to get live reps, whether you're playing against second string, third string, whoever you're playing against. It's important to get
Yeah,
live reps.
yeah,
I mean, you can do that in practice all you want to, but everybody knows in any sport, game time is different.
yep, for
And
sure.
uh, and they just look flat. I don't know. We'll break down some players here in a little bit, but there's a lot of different things that you could point at and probably say, well, hey, this is why the Rams lost. Now they didn't lose because they didn't have opportunities, because they definitely had opportunities.
For sure.
So
Um
I mean, where do you want to go from here with the conversation?
um I mean, you want to go to your surprise or like your surprise of the game or what?
Yeah, we can just do like surprises of the game, things that caught us off guard, I guess.
Yeah,
And I guess you just have to kind of start at the top with the Rams only scoring 10 points. Last
yeah,
night I said bold prediction that four different Rams players would have a touchdown, and it just it just never materialized. And it like I said, they had opportunities. So it surprised me overall how flat the offense was,
yeah,
and how they were unable to take advantage of the opportunities they had.
yeah. And I think my biggest surprise, honestly, it has to do with the Rams, offense, was how weak Stafford's arm looked. I had texted you about it, on my way home. Sorry, texting and driving. I know it's bad.
Mm.
Uh, but you said that he had like just not really looked strong. He hadn't really thrown anything deep, and just watching him, he just looked like he was just kind of limp arming everything. And I mean, you're just it's hard to get down a field when you're only gaining 3 or 4 yards at a time, and then sometimes none, and then it's difficult when you can't have that big 15, 20 yard pass that gets you down the field a good ways.
Yeah, I didn't see any zip on the ball tonight
Mm-mm.
from Matthew
Nope.
Stafford whatsoever. Anything around the 15-yard area, it looked like he really had to like bring his whole side of his body
Mm-hmm.
into the throw. I just in my personal opinion, I've never seen him throw like that.
Yeah.
So it may be where he's just trying to ease his way in. I don't know. It didn't look good. That's for sure.
I'd say if he's still looking like this by week 3, might have a problem for the Rams. Might
Yeah.
have a problem for the Rams.
Was there anything that surprised you on the Bills side of the game?
Um, I guess really how little Dawson Knox was targeted. He just didn't do anything. I thought yesterday that he was definitely going to catch at least one touchdown pass. Cause I don't know. I swear up and down that Josh Allen loves him near the end zone. And I don't know. He just, what do you have? One reception for 5 yards.
Yeah, I can pull that up
I
for us
mean,
right now. Two targets. Two targets.
two
That tells the
targets.
story. That tells
Yeah.
the story right there. But one reception, 5 yards.
Yeah.
A lot of cooks in the kitchen tonight on the Bills offense.
Yeah.
I will say the thing that surprised me the most. We knew the Bills had a good defense,
Mm-hmm.
but this pass rush with Von Miller is something different, because
Yeah.
the Rams last year had a pretty formidable offensive line. Now,
Mm-hmm.
they haven't it's supposed to be pretty formidable this year, but I'm telling you what, Von Miller and so, those defensive tackles just made this Rams line look pitiful a couple times.
Dude,
Like,
they sacked Stafford 7 times.
yeah.
7 times. That's
And Stafford,
ridiculous.
Stafford ain't a young guy anymore. You
No,
know,
he's not. He's not even spring
after about
training.
the fourth one, I'm surprised he wasn't having a conversation with the offensive line. I remember back in the day, Peyton Manning used to have a couple conversations with his offensive line every now and then, and he was like
Yeah.
best buds with them. You know, but listen, hey, if you gotta protect a man, protect a
Yeah.
man. But no, I think that was the biggest surprise for me on the side of the Bills.
Yeah. I'll agree.
We can go with some things that did not surprise us,
Yeah.
and you go first.
All right. I'll kick this one off. Josh Allen popped off. The 2 interceptions,
Oh.
they were weird, a little weird. Uh, I wouldn't be like super worried about that. I mean, the dude just went off. How many passing yards do you end up with? Like
I'll
240?
I'll look it up right now. Give me 2 seconds. I'm right on it right now. I'm on your fantasy team here. 297 with 3 TDs. I mean, he also like the thing that separates Josh Allen. He had 56 rushing yards and a rushing
And
touchdown.
yeah, right. He's just a
Yeah.
beast. He's a
Yeah.
beast.
Played awesome. Like you said, those 2 interceptions, I was watching those. First interception was in the breadbasket of Isaiah McKenzie, and he dropped it into the breadbasket of a defender. And then the second one was actually a Jamison Crowder crossing route that I thought Jamison Crowder definitely should have came back to a little more. And it's just like the defender just beat him to the ball. Like
Yeah,
it really was one of those things where like, it's close ball, but I feel like Crowder could have done a little better on going toward the ball.
yeah,
He didn't really do that. But yeah, I completely agree. Josh Allen did what
yeah,
we thought he could do.
yeah.
Um, as far as on my side of things, something that did not surprise me, and let's just go ahead and get him out there. Cooper Cup got his work.
Yeah.
You kind of, that's, you took him first overall pick in our fantasy draft. Safest, probably one of the safest picks you can make.
Got me.
I
He
would
got
say
me
Jonathan.
25 points in a game where the Rams scored 10 points and 1 touchdown.
Yep, exactly. And in in our Yahoo league, he actually had 31 points.
Wow.
So I 100%. Actually, I don't know. I didn't know there was a difference in either one of those. I'll check that out just to make sure there's nothing wrong with either one of the leagues. But yeah, no stat line. Cooper Cup, 15 targets, 13 receptions for 128 and a TD. So I mean, 15 targets. Yeah, you're gonna get some fantasy points with 15
Yeah.
targets.
Yeah.
And the toe tap TD was absolutely beautiful.
Mhm.
Just Cooper Cup in his craft there.
Yep.
But I none of these other wide receivers were getting it done either.
Mhm.
So I'm
And I
surprised he
think,
was able to get the work that he was, seeing as he's the
yeah,
only guy on the field that could get something going.
yeah. I mean, I think part of it was Stafford. Like, he
I
just didn't look good to me. He didn't
I could
impress
see
me at
it.
all.
I
He
could
didn't
see it.
impress me near as much as Josh Allen did.
Yep. And that segues really good into what I want to talk about. Let's talk about some fantasy duds.
Yeah.
First guy I want to talk about is Allen Robinson, since I'm thinking
Yeah.
about it.
Yep.
The Stafford throwing may have been what affected him because Allen Robinson's a guy that wants to jump balls. He
Hmm.
wants to go deep. He wants to jump balls. I know he's getting a little older, but he's tall. He's athletic. He wants to go deep and get a jump ball. Josh Allen was throwing jump balls. Gabriel Davis,
Yeah.
ask him about it. Ask Gabriel Davis and Stephon Diggs about those jump balls. Those two long pass plays. And Josh Allen just flicking his wrist basically and slinging it. And
Yeah.
then you got Stafford rolling out to the right, left, and looking like he really had to struggle to get it 15 yards down the field. I'm telling you, there's something wrong. We're gonna find out tomorrow. Tomorrow they're gonna have to say something. They really
Yeah.
are. By next week, at the latest on the injury report. I'm
Right.
telling you, there got to be something. But Allen Robinson really was hurt by the way that Matt Stafford was struggling. Cooper Cup is only going to get helped by the way Matt Stafford's struggling because those short passes are what he makes his life on anyway.
Right.
Now, he just makes a play after the catch. So who's a fantasy dud that you want to talk about? And you mentioned
Uh,
one earlier too.
Dawson Knox.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a point and a half in our Yahoo league.
Yeah.
That's pitiful. I mean, I was high on Dawson Knox because I believe that Josh Allen loves him in the end zone,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I thought that he would get a touchdown pass. He was projected for 10 points, so they thought he was at least going to do a little something. You know,
Mhm.
but
No, I agree. Like I mean, they still scored 31 points,
right.
and you're scoring 31 points. I'm kind of thinking Dawson Knox needs to be a little bit of a part of that.
Hmm.
I think, Isaiah McKenzie caught a touchdown. That's
Yeah.
supposed to be like their slot wide receiver. Jamison Crowder actually got quite a few targets over the middle.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking this little slot battle they've got going on kind of hurt the productivity of Dawson Knox because that's where he makes his living too.
Yeah.
And then like I said, the little bitty slant route that Isaiah McKenzie caught in the end zone, that's usually where we see Dawson Knox across the top or across the middle. So yeah, that definitely changes things for sure for him. I don't know if I'm ready to like completely. Cooper Cup had 31 points in the ESPN league too, Nick.
Oh, okay. I guess I didn't say something.
Yeah,
He,
no, he
oh
had
no,
30.
he
He
had
had that
that big
play at the
reception.
win.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah,
had to play at the end. And you were actually playing against somebody who had Josh Allen, but also had
yeah.
Allen Robinson. Forrest had Allen Robinson, so tough
Yep.
break on that. But we talked about Allen Robinson. We talked about Dawson Knox. Let's talk about CJ's boy, Cam Akers, with the big fat donut. Oh my goodness! I listen. Called it last night. Daryl Henderson was the guy from the word say go. And listen, the main thing you don't want to do in the first week of fantasy is overreact. You don't want to
Yeah.
overreact on negative play. However, you can't overreact to opportunity. And
Hmm.
Cam Akers did not get a lot of opportunities. Now, he could still be more hurt than they're letting on, and they could be just easing him back in. But
Yeah.
Daryl Henderson had a couple plays where I was like, hey, that guy got a little pep in the step.
Hmm.
He's looking okay.
Yeah.
And then Cam Akers, I think he had one play that went for about like 8 yards or something like that. But everything else was behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Like I said, it evened out to nothing. So I mean, it just didn't look good. It didn't look good. There wasn't very many opportunities in this situation. I'm saying the next couple weeks you've got to look for an uptick in opportunities, or you're looking to move on and find someone else at the running back position.
Yeah.
You
I
just can't
mean,
you can't sit around and wait on a guy forever.
right. You can't. I
And this
mean,
and sorry, but this
you're
is a guy
good.
that got drafted in the fourth round of most
Yeah.
people's drafts.
I know. I mean, I just I invested too much in what like I think Stafford's just gonna pass the ball most of the time because he loves Cup. And like I don't know. I don't like a rushing game in a offense that has the best receiver in the league.
Yeah.
Like that's just they're gonna be like you're just gonna be more favored for pass plays because you're wanting to get that guy open.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, a good comparison that we can make this upcoming Sunday here is CJ took Cam Akers in the fourth round. And you took, I believe it was James Conner in the fourth round. So I mean, we're going to see what James Conner does this Sunday, and then you can make some comparisons. I actually took T Higgins in the fourth round. So I mean, I'm interested to see what he
Hey,
does.
that's probably a very solid fourth round pick. I
Yeah.
think.
So I
To be
mean,
honest with you.
it's just one of those things where like everybody looks back on their draft and they're like, man, I reached for that guy, and just there just wasn't enough opportunity for Cam Akers. That's what scares me the most. If he had 15 touches and just middled around for like 30 some yards, that would make a man feel a lot better.
Yeah.
If he had a lot of touches but just couldn't get anything going, that's one thing. But he didn't have the touches either. Daryl Henderson played the whole first two drives by himself.
Yeah.
Um, so we got those three guys, and we already talked about Matthew Stafford. I don't think we have to cover him anymore. 240, a TD, and 3 interceptions. One of them was deflected at the line. The other two, pretty pretty bad balls, just in general.
Yeah.
One was a complete overthrow on him trying to do his little no look pass thing. I'm thinking we're doing no look passes when we're up by about 3 touchdowns. I don't think we're
Yeah.
doing them like him and Patty do them, yeah, but that's usually when they're in control, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it didn't look good for Matt Stafford.
No, not really.
I don't like you said. I don't think the Rams defense played terrible.
No, I don't think that they played bad. They took advantage. The defense took advantage of some like weird opportunities.
Yep.
You know, forced
Yeah,
some fumbles, and I mean, they didn't play bad.
absolutely. And
But
I
I
think,
just I wish that the Rams could have capitalized a little bit more on some of those turnovers.
yep. I think we could segue into something here as a player to watch going forward. Now one thing I will say though is you haven't talked about your boy Stephon Diggs. Do you want to talk about your boy
I,
Stephon
I
Diggs real
can talk
quick?
about Stephon a
We
little
could we
bit.
could talk about some fantasy studs because we didn't talk
Yeah.
about fantasy studs. So if you can go ahead with Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I mean, Stephon got 26.2, 8 receptions for 122 yards and a tutty. I thought he was going to get two, but I mean, I also thought Dawson Knox was going to get one. He didn't get one. But
Yeah.
still, Diggs was a stud. He just looked great tonight. I was very, very pleased with my Allen and Diggs stack that got me 60 points. Very, very
Yep.
pleased.
Absolutely. Now, so how many did you say Diggs had?
26.2.
26. And you got to think right beside of him, Gabriel Davis had 18. And I feel like the Bills missed some opportunities.
Yeah,
They were down inside the 30 twice and had some pitiful turnovers.
yeah.
So definitely left some fantasy points out there, but Diggs and Davis over the top were just
That
they're
was
just
that was what I wanted to talk about as my like what to look at going forward. I think
okay.
Gabriel Davis could
I'll
be
leave him
a
alone
great.
then. I won't say
Okay.
nothing else.
Oh no, we can talk about it right now. We can just
No,
go back and forth
no,
about
no. We got let's do the let's. You want to talk about Josh Allen a little bit? You want to talk?
it. I mean, I think he really showed that he can be a dual threat tonight as well because he looked amazing passing the ball and he also rushed for some good yardage and had a rushing touchdown.
Yep. I already talked about Cooper Cup, and I
Yeah.
thought it was funny. They're up 31-10. They get the ball back, turn it to turnover. Matt Stafford. They turned it over a couple plays later. Zach Moss fumbled, but I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But the first play, 31-10, like 3 minutes left in the game, something like that. Josh Allen runs a little end around and like rushes the ball. Like they said that Sean McDermott need to call up to the booth and listen, you're fined $5,000 if you run another play like that. Because the game was over, but Josh Allen's
yeah.
just such a competitor, man. He just
Yeah.
loves it. He was probably eating it up. He was like, "Hey, coach, let me run it. Let me run the ball, coach. Let me kick the extra point. Let me."
yeah. For
So,
sure.
but no, and we already talked about Cooper Cup. We know that he was a stud tonight. He did what he
Oh yeah.
needed to do. Neither defense hurt you tonight.
Nope.
Neither both defenses. Yeah, I think some people may even shied away from those defenses tonight just in case.
Hmm.
But both defenses look good. Kickers were meh. Tyler Bass had 8. Matt Gay had 6. I feel like you wanted a little more out of those guys. But
Hey,
we will.
I got a notification from Yahoo that the Rams defense had been dropped by 19,000 and some people. And they scored 9 points today, which
Yeah.
was over double what they were projected for.
Yeah, and held
Like,
up.
yeah,
Not the best looking when you have that many points scored against you, but you got to think
yeah,
about how many points could have been scored
yeah,
against
right,
them.
right. The defense isn't trying to score the points. They're just
No.
trying to prevent them a little bit.
So
And
I
they
will
had,
let you I'll let you segue into your what to watch for.
uh, I mean, Gabriel Davis. I mean, he scored 18 fantasy points today, and I think everyone that had him starting had him in the flex. So if he continues to get more targets, like get at least 10 targets a game, say maybe like that,
Yep.
then I think he could really be like a solid like wide receiver 3 or 2 in that offense because they're going to be getting in the end zone a lot. He's going to be catching some touchdown passes.
Absolutely. I don't think you can shy away from a guy that just looks like he owns the red zone.
Right.
And you drive right down the field and you find him for your first touchdown. I mean,
Oh
that
yeah.
says something. It really does.
Yeah.
Now I'll say what to look for. Now the guy didn't have a stellar game today. Only had 8 fantasy points. We play full PPR, so every
Mm-hmm.
reception is a point. A lot of leagues play half, but we play full. 8 rushing attempts for 48 yards, 2 targets, 2 receptions for 14 yards. Devin Singletary. That is 6 yards a rush, and that is, caught both the balls that was thrown to him for 7 yards apiece.
Yeah.
Um, the thing though to look for with Devin Singletary going forward is 3 backs touched the ball tonight for the Bills. Devin Singletary touched the ball for a while. Then James Cook, second round pick, comes in, first touch, fumble. Didn't see the field again.
Yeah.
Didn't see the field again. Okay, late in the game, we're driving 20 yards in, something like that. Zach Moss goes for a second effort. What's he do?
Fumble.
Fumbles the ball. Next week, I'm telling you, just by what he looked like, how much they like him there in Buffalo, Devin Singletary. I mean, I could see one guy maybe getting a couple touches. I could see Devin Singletary getting, he had 8 rushes tonight. I could see that number doubling easy.
Right.
15 rushes,
Yep.
because I mean they're going to be up. They're going to
Hmm.
be up in games looking to run the clock out, and they do not want to give the ball to somebody that's going to cough it up.
Nope.
So I say, 15 rushes, maybe 5 receptions could be a more reasonable stat line next week for Devin Singletary. And
100
they
plus
play,
yards maybe and a touchdown.
yep,
You know,
they
a
play
big week in fantasy.
Monday Night Football against the Tennessee Titans next week. So defense that could be taken advantage of for sure. Which I think the Buffalo Bills just proved that they could take advantage of any defense. So
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely. So I mean, I know we're coming at everybody tomorrow with some predictions for some Sunday games.
yeah.
But do you have anything else you want to go at before we close this one out?
No, I don't think so. I think we got everything we wanted to talk about.
I mean, I think the Bills look like a 14-3 team. That's for sure.
I mean, yeah, yeah,
Maybe better. Maybe better.
but the Rams, I don't think they look like a 12-5 team.
They did not look like a 12-5 team tonight,
Nope.
and I don't think the Cardinals, if and we'll see what the Cardinals look like, but I don't think the Cardinals or maybe even the 49ers would be an easy out playing like that. So,
Mm-mm.
but anyway, we enjoyed it. Glad we
Yeah.
got to stay up and cover the game. NFL is back. We're ready.
Yes.
Nick, you want to tell them what to do?
There's gonna be a recent video under Colby, and there's gonna be an option to subscribe under me. Y'all gotta hit those, and y'all gotta like, and y'all gotta tell us what y'all want to see. Tell us what y'all thought about the game. Give us your thoughts on all that down in the comments.
Yep. Shout out to Coach Shell's math classes. They've been representing, trying to put some comments and subscribes up. So shout out to my math
Yeah.
classes. Appreciate you kids. All
Thank
right,
y'all.
y'all stay into fantasy football. It's fun.
Peace.